Alabama's about to get slammed by an ice storm, and grocery stores, total chaos. Bread gone, milk gone, eggs gone. But here's the problem. People are panic buying the wrong stuff. Perishables that'll spoil the second power cuts, which could last a week. This isn't Minnesota snow. This is ice. The kind that snaps power lines, kills electricity for days, and leaves you freezing in the dark. And down here, we don't have plows. We're not built for this. So when you're sitting with no heat, dead phone, and spoiled food, that Wonder Bread ain't saving you. Welcome back to Mind Mirror. Let's break down how to actually survive this.
This right here is what happens when you live in Alabama, and James Spann says there's a slight possibility of some bad weather. Milk gone, bread gone, your eggs is gone, don't have any lunch meat to be found. Now keep in mind the bad weather ain't even forecasted for another 3 days. Oh, honey, grab us some bread. Just don't mess with that wheat. I'd rather starve.
This man just said he'd rather starve than eat wheat bread in an emergency. Brother, when the power's been out for 3 days and you haven't eaten, I promise that wheat bread's gonna taste like heaven. This ain't the time for carb snobbery, but this is peak Southern storm culture, right? Everyone's fighting over white bread and milk like they're gold bars. Meanwhile, the actual survival essentials, batteries, water, protein, are sitting untouched on the shelves. Skip the bread wars. Get peanut butter, crackers, canned tuna, trail mix. Stuff that doesn't spoil, doesn't need cooking. Because when that fridge stops working, your precious sourdough's just gonna mold.
Welcome to another episode of Alabama Has No Idea What the Hell It's Doing. Winter edition. This is my state, and if you look at this module, this is prediction of ice. Not snow, not pretty fluffy snow, ice. And like most of the deep south, we are not equipped for winter weather at all. This is supposed to take place on Friday night, and they've asked us to at least prepare for 3 days without power. And then some weather authorities are saying if that power goes out, it's possible that the power stays out for a week, up to a month, depending on how many people are affected.
A month without power. Let me say that again. A month. And people think they're overreacting by stocking up? Nah, ice storms are brutal. They don't just knock out power for a few hours. They destroy entire grids. Power lines snap under ice weight, trees fall, roads become impassable. Utility crews can't even reach the damage. So if they're saying prep for 3 days, you better prep for a week, minimum, because when your heat's gone, your fridge is dead, your phone's at 2%, and you're on well water with no running water. That's when reality hits. Stock water, non-perishables, propane for cooking, medications, baby formula, pet food, and charge every device you own before this hits. Don't gamble with "it won't be that bad." Murphy's Law loves ice storms.
This goes from Texas all the way to the East Coast. There's going to be thousands of people affected by this winter storm. And every year I hear Northerners laugh at us like, you can't handle the winter weather. And when it's ice, that is correct. We cannot. We're screwed.
I'm sorry, what do you mean? That there's a chance of tornadoes this weekend? I thought we were winter weather. Like, I know people make fun of Alabama about, like, not knowing what to do and, like, snow and ice. And, like, I hear you. We don't have the infrastructure for it. But, like, I've always made the joke, like, you don't have to worry about what we'll do in a tornado because we know what to do. But tell me how the weather has gone from, we're getting 3 inches of ice, which would be absolutely devastating to this area, okay? Our power lines are not built for it, yada, yada, yada. To now, it's just gonna rain. You might get a little ice. To part of this state is under like severe thunderstorm warnings, or will be this weekend, with the possibility of tornadoes. So like one corner of the state is definitely getting iced in. One corner is just gonna like be flooded, and then like another section could have tornadoes all in the same state, all on the same weekend. That is absolutely insane. Right?
Ice, flooding, tornadoes, same weekend, same state. This is why Alabama prep looks crazy to outsiders. Up north, you get snow. You shovel, salt, move on. Down here, you're juggling 3 natural disasters at once. One county's getting iced in, another's flooding, another's dodging twisters. And people still want to mock Southerners for overreacting to winter weather? Our infrastructure wasn't built for this. We don't have plows. Our power grids are fragile. One ice storm can cripple entire regions. So yeah, if you're in the path, prep for worst case. Don't assume you're in the clear just because your neighbor is. Check your county's forecast and plan accordingly.
Like, no other state really deals with this. I mean, other states could, okay, if you're in the South. And I would even dare say, like, maybe even, like, Oklahoma could deal with this. But like, come on. I'm trying to have chili this weekend. I've already bought the stuff for it. Now it can't be 50. That just doesn't go with chili.
So the weather in Alabama supposedly is not going to be as bad as it was projected to be, which is fabulous, right? That's great. But the temperatures are still going to be shitty. So my kids' school district sent an email out last night. I'm assuming because parents were on that ass of the school district and they're like, what the fuck are you guys about to do? Is school going to be canceled? Are you guys going to have delays? Like, what's going to happen? Because it's going to be cold as fucking shit. And kids standing at the bus stop, let's make it make sense, guys. I'm not a fan of the superintendent. My kid's school district. Him and I are not friends, and that's okay. But yeah, my theory is kids cannot be standing at the fucking bus stop when it feels like -2 degrees, and no one has clothes here to support that type of weather.
Southerners aren't soft about cold. We literally don't have the gear. Most people here own one winter coat, maybe, and it's definitely not rated for negative wind chills. Asking kids to stand at bus stops in feels like -2 degrees? That's not toughness, that's frostbite waiting to happen. Hypothermia is real, and when you don't have proper layers, gloves, insulated boots, it gets dangerous, fast. Parents, layer everything. Long underwear, double socks, hats, scarves, gloves, and if your school won't cancel, keep them home. Attendance doesn't matter if your kid's in the ER with cold exposure. Safety first, always.
Like, let's make it fucking make sense.
So apparently Alabama's about to have a huge snowstorm and everybody's panicking, and I was warned to make sure that I hit the grocery stores. I just moved from Utah where snowstorms happen all the time. Now, what I have learned here in Alabama is the reason for the freak out is because they don't have the snow plows. They don't have the infrastructure to deal with large amounts of snow like they did in Utah. Like in Utah, it snows 3 feet and it's no big deal. Keep going to school, go to the store, nothing stops. Here in Alabama, we've been here just a couple weeks, and it turns out we're going to have a huge snowstorm, and everybody's panicking and everybody's filling their fridges. And I have to say, generally, I do have a couple of fridges full of food because I just like to have freezers and fridges and food supply. And we had to get rid of all of our food supply when we moved because how do you ship that for 2 weeks? And so I don't have my normal food supply that I have in my emergency preparedness stuff. Like, don't even know where it is right now. But I am thoroughly enjoying the freak out of the Alabamans. Now, it's going to be a totally different thing, I know. And I will let you know how it goes next week. But for now, we're just kind of enjoying. We're like hunkering down and making sure we have all our fun snacks in case things go awry. And hopefully all is well. But we'll keep you informed on how that goes.
So I'm feeling a little bit better about this winter storm that's coming through northeast Alabama where I'm at. But I'm really, really worried for, you know, all the other states that are going to go through this and hit all that ice. I'm like, my thoughts and prayers are with all the other states that are going to get hit by this storm. But I was able to get my groceries. I was really worried about that, but I was able to get the groceries that we needed. All of the stores gone, milk, bread, like everything was gone. But I was able to get what I needed. So praise Jesus, hallelujah. Let's just get through this.
Everything was gone, but I got what I needed. That's the energy. No panic, no hoarding, just calm, strategic shopping. Here's the thing. Everyone's grabbing milk and bread like it's the apocalypse starter pack. But when your power cuts, that milk spoils in 12 hours. So why are we obsessed with it? Get shelf-stable stuff instead. Canned goods, protein bars, dried fruit, nuts, peanut butter, crackers. Things you can eat without cooking, because you're not whipping up casseroles with no electricity. And water. Fill every jug, bottle, pitcher you've got. If pipes freeze or the water system fails, you're done. So prep smart, not scared.
So I live in the South, and let me tell y'all are crazy. They have been saying, like, since Monday, maybe, that we're going to have bad weather this weekend. It's going to snow 8 to 12 inches. This is going to be a snowstorm that we haven't seen since, like, 1993. It is now Thursday, and they are saying that all of that probably not going to happen. It's just going to be freezing rain. Do you know what they were doing on Tuesday? I went to Walmart. Those people were insane. They had like snow melting, salt out. All of the heaters were gone. All of the kerosene is gone. All of the milk and bread are gone. I couldn't even buy my regular groceries because all of you people bought up everything. Gas, everybody's at the gas station. Like Kroger and Walmart were packed at 7 o'clock in the morning. And for what? For y'all to have all of this food and to sit at home and it's gonna rain. Make it make sense, people.
Is Huntsville going to look like this weekend? Probably not. Here's what to know about the upcoming cold weather in Huntsville. Huntsville's now under a winter weather advisory according to the National Weather Service, meaning we can expect a mix of wintry snow and ice over the weekend and maybe some black ice on the roads. The good news is Huntsville Utilities is no longer predicting weather-related outages, so your power should be safe. If you're new around here, everyone usually preps by buying up all the milk and bread, but we have some tips that will actually help you prepare for this weekend and the cold weather advisory heading into next week. If you're worried about controlling your energy usage, some money-saving tips are to lower your thermostat as low as you're comfortable, bundle up, make sure you have proper insulation and no drafts coming in from your doors or windows. Much as you're tempted, don't turn on emergency heat or use space heaters because they take up more energy. You'll still need to use caution when you're driving around and traveling, and if you encounter any downed power lines or trees, you can report them easily in the Huntsville Utilities app. And make sure you check business hours and event pages before making any plans this weekend. And of course, Alabama weather is unpredictable, but in any event, Huntsville Utilities will be there to make sure that we're all staying safe and powered. Hope we get snow like this weekend? Comment below.
Could we see snow or a wintry mix here in central Alabama in the next week? Here's a quick rundown on this week's forecast. We start off sunny, dry, quiet, and cold. Monday and Tuesday highs in the 40s. We will see temperatures below freezing through Wednesday morning. By midweek, we'll start to see those temperatures improve just a bit. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, highs are above the 50-degree mark, and the mornings will also be above freezing Thursday and Friday. That's really important to pinpoint because at the same time, rain chances will move back in. So cold, passing showers on Thursday and Friday possible. By Saturday, rain chances stick around, but at the same time, a cold blast of air is going to be moving into the state from the north. And if these two features overlap at the same time, that's where we get the chance for some wintry precipitation. Look at this map. This is a look at the Euro model on Saturday. That's going to be the day that could see the highest impacts if we were to see any winter weather here in central Alabama. Unfortunately, the best chance of snow does stay just north of the state, likely across Tennessee. Better chances to see a wintry mix or freezing rain. That's a look at our freezing rain probability, mainly north of I-20. Really, for this event, northern counties of the state are going to have the best chance to see any type of winter weather. The rest of the state mainly looking at a cold rain on Saturday. But the main question is, where will temperatures be at or below freezing during the day? Because that's where we have the chance for some winter weather. All right, that's all for today. I'm ABC 3340 meteorologist Kate Cowan. I'll have you guys another update around midweek. Till then, have a great one.
The meteorologist just gave you the key info. Northern Alabama's getting hammered. Central Alabama, probably just rain. This is why local forecasts matter. The difference between 12 inches of snow and cold rain is massive. If you're in central Alabama panic buying for a blizzard that's not even hitting you, you just wasted time and money. But up north near Tennessee, yeah, you need to prep. Ice, freezing rain, power outages. That's real. Check your county's forecast. Don't prep based on statewide panic. Match your supplies to the actual threat in your area. And if you're borderline, better to over prep than under. Alabama weather flips on a dime.
We are expected to get like 15 inches of snow this week, so we just did a major grocery haul to make sure we have some things that we could eat in case the power goes out. So if you're in our area and you have the chance to get to the grocery store today or tomorrow before this giant snow hits, I thought I would give you some ideas of what we grabbed to have on hand. First up is fruit. We have some apples and some bananas, and I also got some strawberries in the refrigerator. We already have a ton of eggs, so I didn't buy any of those today. I did get some salad mix, a bunch of fresh lunch meat and cheese, and so we have bread to do plenty of sandwiches. I also got some yogurt, so those are some high protein options. Obviously, as the power goes out, we're just going to keep the refrigerator closed as much as possible, but if there's 15 inches of snow, I don't think we'll have trouble keeping things cold. These crackers were on sale, so I got some of those. We can have them with the peanut butter we got or as like a little snack plate. I also got a couple of things of trail mix. We already had some other crackers and snack bars in here. Plenty of bread. We also got some bagels so we could have an option of something to eat for breakfast if we can't cook things. We do have some fruit for the kiddos. We got a couple of things of cereal. These were also on sale. Stocked all the kids' snacks. And then we also
Here are the 5 things that you're probably not thinking about when it comes to preparing for the winter storm that's about to wallop the southern part of the United States. 5 years ago, my husband and I lost power for 7 days and we had no water for 6 days. And these are the things that I wish that we had prepared for that would have made that time a little bit easier, although it still would have sucked. Do all of your laundry. There's nothing worse than needing to wash your sheets, not being able to use your washer and your dryer, not being able to shower, and then sleeping on stinky old sheets. Get some shelf-stable protein. Last time we went through this, we prepared for it like it was going to be a snowstorm, and I was going to make all kinds of cozy things like a pot roast and short ribs. And as soon as our power went out and our fridge stopped working, all that meat spoiled, even though we put it out in the ice trying to keep it cold, and we didn't have any protein for a couple days. So we were subsisting on things like rice and lentils and canned tomatoes and soups and that kind of thing. So buy some shelf-stable protein, some meat sticks, some protein bars so that you're not just completely wasting away. Bake yourself some sweets. Here's the thing, you're probably going to be prepping some really healthy food, but honestly, if you don't have chocolate chip cookies, when shit hits the fan, you're going to be really sad. It might be stressful to not have power. You might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. What you want is something sweet and delicious, so do yourself a favor, bake some brownies, bake some cookies, whatever it is that you want so you have it on hand. There's nothing worse than not being able to bake a cookie when you want a cookie. Get some paper plates, paper napkins, and plastic silverware because trust me, you don't want to have a sink full of dishes that you can't wash when you don't have water. After 7 days of not washing dishes, our kitchen was disgusting. Be prepared for someone to get sick. Go to the grocery store and get some of those homeopathic remedies that are mixes. So they're made by Boiron and Highlands, and they're for specific use cases. So there's one that's for colds and coughs. There's one that's for the flu. Flu is running rampant right now. If you are stuck at home and you're not able to get to a doctor, having this on hand is going to be the best thing you can do to take care of yourself and your family.
This is the advice nobody thinks about until it's too late. Do all your laundry now. Wash every dish. Stock up on paper plates and plastic silverware. Because when you've got no power and no water for a week, that sink full of crusty dishes becomes a nightmare you can't escape. And baking cookies beforehand, that's not extra. That's genius. You're gonna be cold, stressed, bored. Comfort food matters. Don't just prep for survival, prep for sanity. Also, shelf-stable protein. Everyone stocks up like they're cooking gourmet meals, then the power dies and all that meat rots. Get canned chicken, tuna, beans, jerky. Stuff you can eat cold. Fill your bathtub with water too. Not for drinking, for flushing toilets and washing hands. Small detail, huge difference.
Big winter storm alert. We may see one of the biggest winter storms we have seen in years. So let's talk about some of the ways that you could stay safe and hopefully protect yourself and your loved ones during this storm. If you do not need to travel, please try not to. A lot of serious injuries come from car accidents or slipping and falling and not necessarily the storm itself. Also, extreme cold temperatures could happen and they can get dangerous really fast, especially for very young kids and the elderly or anyone with heart or lung conditions. So make sure to dress in layers, cover your exposed skin, and limit your time outside. If you have to shovel snow, please make sure to take breaks and push the snow instead of lifting the snow. Many people with underlying cardiovascular disease do not know that they have cardiovascular disease. And then unfortunately, with the hard effort of doing shoveling and with the extremely cold temperatures, this could onset or increase your risk for having a cardiovascular event. If you do have to shovel snow, please make sure to stay well hydrated and stop immediately. If you feel any chest pain, shortness of breath, dizziness, jaw or arm pain, and see your physician immediately. Snow shoveling is a common trigger for heart attacks. Make sure to keep your phone charged, have backup batteries, use flashlights instead of candles, and make sure you have enough of things such as medications, formula, food, and water for several days. If you were to lose power, never use grills, ovens, or generators indoors. This increases the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. Lastly, make sure to check on elderly neighbors and people with medical needs. And remember, preparation doesn't mean that we all need to panic. It is just making sure that we stay protected during this time. One last thing, I know some of the things I mentioned cost money, and a lot of us may not have money to make ends meet or to build up excess of certain things. And if you happen to be in that position, make sure to check in with your local food banks, local relief religious organizations that often have resources for times just like this. Stay safe, stay warm, and if you have an opportunity to enjoy the snow outside of the severity of it, make sure to do so.
A doctor just gave you life-saving advice. Listen, snow shoveling causes more heart attacks than you'd think. People don't realize the cardiovascular strain, especially in freezing temps. Your heart's already working overtime to keep you warm, then you add intense physical labor. Recipe for disaster. If you must shovel, push, don't lift. Take breaks every 10 minutes. Hydrate. And if you feel chest pain, dizziness, arm pain, shortness of breath, stop. Call 911. Don't tough it out. Carbon monoxide poisoning. People die every winter from running generators indoors or grills in garages. It's odorless, invisible, and lethal. Don't risk it. And check on elderly neighbors. Seriously, if they lose heat, they're in real danger. One knock could save a life.
As a former Florida girl, current North Carolina girl, I feel like there is some overlap between hurricane prep and winter storm prep. I did want to share what we're doing to prep here. Now, we are a family of 3, my wife and I, our daughter, and then 2 dogs. People might consider this overkill. I just feel like this is going to make me comfortable, not as nervous for what is about to come. Obviously, if the power goes out, my biggest fear is going to be 1, communication, 2, temperature, because it's going to be freezing, and then 3, it's going to be cooking food. We did get a solar powered battery bank that we can use to heat up small appliances to actually be able to cook our food. We got an electric water kettle that we can use to make coffee, make oats, grits, ramen. I also got an electric griddle that can be plugged into that power bank. Obviously not going to be going all out when it comes to what we're eating, but at least we can heat things up and cook basic necessities. We have a grill out back, so we did grab another tank of propane. Both cars have a full tank of gas. They have been topped up every single day. Cars are a great way to stay warm and a great way to charge your devices. Obviously, be smart and do not turn your cars on in your garage. You have to be outdoors when you turn your car on and sit there. A full stock of all medications, kids' medication, thermometers, first aid kit. Now, as far as food goes, we did buy non-perishable items. This is where I feel like hurricanes are different, because obviously when you are in a hurricane, you don't want your food to go bad because it's going to be hot. We don't really have that issue here. Temperatures are going to be like below freezing or right at freezing point. So we can literally just take our food from the fridge or the freezer and just stick it outside so that it doesn't go bad. We're going to be filling every single reusable water bottle that we have with water. Then we also got 4 gallons of water to use as well. We have a storage bin that we're going to fill with water that rinse anything off, because you might not have running water and you're definitely not going to have hot water. Every single portable charger that I could possibly get my hands on is going to be fully charged. All of our devices are going to be on a charger 24/7 until the power goes out. All of our animals have all of the food that they could possibly need for the next 3 months. Tomorrow, we're going to wash all the sheets and do all of our laundry, make sure all the dishes are done as well, because we are obviously not going to be able to clean anything during the storm. Outside, we covered all of our spigots and unhooked all of the hoses to make sure that nothing gets frozen over. My wife is from West Virginia, so she is 100% not as concerned as I am, and definitely thinks that I'm being extremely extra. And that's fine. There are so many things that I got that we can then use again in the future, and even if we don't use them, we can return them. I would rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. Honestly, I think everybody's just hoping that it's not as bad as they say it's going to be, but if it is, at least I know that we're prepared and we have the basic necessities that every single family member needs in order to make it through the next, few days to a week or so.
Stop scrolling for 1 second. If an ice storm is coming around, which it is within the next 24 to 48 hours, this is the window that actually matters. This is about making your home functional even if your power goes out. If you've never lived through an ice storm, let me tell you something really quick. It's not the snow that causes the problems, it's the ice, the power outages, and the days without heat. So here's exactly what you should be doing in the next 24 to 48 hours. First, chores. I know nobody wants to hear this, but this part really matters. Do all of your laundry now. Warm clothes, pajamas, socks, blankets, pet bedding. Even if the power stays on, you'll be grateful that everything is clean and dry. Next, dishes and trash. Run the dishwasher or hand wash what you have and take the trash out. Dirty dishes and full trash cans get miserable real fast if the power goes out. I don't recommend any deep cleaning, just a quick sweep or vacuum so your house feels livable if you're stuck inside. During this ice storm, there's no cooking required. Think about peanut butter, crackers, bread, tuna or chicken packets, granola bars, canned soup, and yes, you can eat it cold. And anything in your fridge that goes bad fast, eat that first. One more smart tip, freeze water bottles. They keep your freezer cold longer if your power goes out. This part is quick but important. Charge everything. Phones, battery packs, laptops, watches. Put flashlights or lanterns in rooms you'll actually use. So wherever your storm hub room is, where you're going to be throughout the ice storm, that's where all your flashlights and lanterns need to be. And if you're thinking about candles, skip them if you can. The fire risk goes up during outages. Like I said before in my other videos, if you want to use things like Bath and Body Works candles or candles from Dollar Tree, just make sure that you're in the room where the candle is being occupied. This is non-negotiable. Let your faucet drip slowly. Open your cabinet doors under your sinks. And if you have any outdoor spigots, cover them. And don't turn your heat off to save money. Burst pipes cost way more than a heating bill. Pets stay inside, period. No pets are to be outside in -5-degree wind chills. Extra food, extra water, warm bedding, pee pads, or cat litter. That is what you need. Let me say this clearly. For your car, fill the gas tank today. Don't wait. Throw a blanket and water in your trunk and avoid driving once ice starts hitting the roads. Let me say this clearly. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be rich. You do not need to panic. You just need to be prepared enough. Save this video so you don't forget anything and send it to someone who's stressing right now. Follow me for the next parts of this ice storm because I'm breaking it down step by step so nobody feels left behind or overwhelmed. Calm prep beats panic every single time.
There it is. Calm prep beats panic. Every time. Panic makes you buy stuff you don't need and forget stuff you do. You end up overwhelmed, stressed, and still unprepared. Calm prep, you think clearly. You prioritize water, food, warmth, power, safety. You charge devices, fill gas tanks, do laundry, stock meds, check on neighbors. And yeah, some of this costs money, but most doesn't. Charging your phone, free. Doing laundry, free. Filling your tub with water, free. Checking on your elderly neighbor, free. Low on funds, hit food banks, churches, community centers. Tons of places offer emergency supplies during storms. And if you're good on resources, help someone who isn't. Share supplies, offer warmth, check in. Storms hit everyone. We survive together. Bottom line, Alabama's about to get hit. Some areas hard. And yeah, people are panic buying bread and milk like it's Armageddon. But you now know what to actually do. Water, non-perishables, charge devices, full gas tank, layers, meds stocked, neighbors checked, laundry done, maybe some cookies baked. Because storms are stressful and life's short. This isn't about panic. It's about being smart. So stay safe, stay warm, stay prepared. Drop a comment. What's your best storm prep tip? And if you're in the path of this thing, let us know how it goes. Hit that like button, share this with someone who needs it, and subscribe. Because when the next disaster hits, you'll want this no BS advice. This is Mind Mirror. Preparation isn't panic, it's power. Stay safe out there.